All right, guys. So it's about 2 a.m. here in lockdown Los Angeles. We are locked down due to the coronavirus, guys. So we're going to be locked down maybe for the next 10 to 15 days, I believe it is, till the 31st here in Los Angeles. So there's no going to work. You can go out and get groceries and do little simple things like that. They have instituted a stay-at-home lockdown, basically, which is in effect here in Los Angeles, guys. So we're going to take some of this time to enjoy Clone Wars Episode 5, Gone with a Trace. This will be the Ahsoka arc here, just after she leaves the Jedi Order. Spoiler, if some of you guys didn't know that, but you should have already known that before watching this particular episode, guys. So let's go ahead and get into this reaction of Clone Wars Episode 5, Gone with the Trace, guys. Let's check this out. Clone Wars.
Jedi Padawan Ahsoka Tano was wrongly accused of treason by the Jedi Council
Man.
and hunted by the Grand Army of the Republic.
Hunted by the Grand Army.
Anakin Skywalker discovered the true villain was Ahsoka's close friend, Barriss Offee.
Barriss Offee.
Unable to reconcile her relationship with the
I wish I
Jedi
had a cup of coffee this
Ahsoka
early in the
decided to
morning.
walk away from the only life she had ever known.
Very cool. Ahsoka. So, very cool. We're going to go down into the lower levels of Coruscant. Now, some of this footage we actually did see. I believe I kind of saw a film reel of this one scene here with the bike, which is really cool. It's cool to see it fully animated. But this particular episode was not fully done in its unedited form. I think there were just certain scenes and frames that they did, most of them with a character which is no longer a part of this particular episode, guys. And we'll cover that in the review of the episode shortly after our reaction. This is really cool action here, though, guys. Kind of an adventure that you would get in Star Tours, kind of. Ahsoka baby walking on walls. Now this, I don't remember. So I think they used that first sequence. Oh, she's got different clothes on. Look at that. I didn't even notice that. But of course she wouldn't have her Jedi uniform on because she's now going undercover. I like her new uniform. It's kind of cool. It matches her sequence with the blue in her tentacles, I guess I want to call them.
I don't know what I was thinking when I bought it. Look at this mess. The repulsor blue, the compressor is shot.
She looks great.
Sounds like you know a thing or
Young
two about
Ahsoka.
engines.
So this is one of the new characters, if you want to say that,
As for your bike, look, you happen
in
to
the
crash outside
unreleased
the best repair
or
shops on 13th.
unfinished
So, you're a mechanic? That I am.
footage that we got to see of this particular episode. And again, it wasn't the whole episode. There was a male character. In this particular episode, there's going to be two different female characters. This one and her sister. We don't know who Trace's sister's, what her name is just
Down
yet.
here no one does. You used to live in the upper levels of Coruscant. here, huh? You're probably better off down here. Why is that? I'm sure you have your problems up there with the Jedi running around, starting wars.
Oh, wow.
Policing everything.
Huh, so
The Jedi didn't start the war.
Trace
They're trying to stop it. Sure.
has the belief that the Jedi
Look,
are
it doesn't
the bad
really
guys.
matter anyway. They've forgotten all about us. What do you mean? It's just when
Which
you're
is
a kid,
interesting.
you hear stories. I'd back off if I were you. Stay out of this.
Now, where's my money?
I got it. Right here.
Oh, look at that. Oh. And Ahsoka is staying out of it, I'm surprised. She can handle her own. Trace can handle her own a little bit. But she's getting roughed up, though.
Thought, some help would be great.
Ahsoka did not step in. But when she does, baby, it's over now. Get him, Soak. That's my girl.
I think you want to leave now.
Ahsoka with the
Tell Rafa, this is far from over.
middle shot. Look, my man walking off with that.
Where did you learn to fight like that?
Oh,
Your
man.
brother taught me. Maybe you can teach me
Someone
something.
got their family jewels crushed.
We gotta go tell my sister about Pinto. Who is this interesting creature? My name is Ahsoka. Lovely name, Ahsoka. Ahsoka, this is my sister, Rafa Martez. How'd you end up
Rafa
with this
Martez.
smooth milker?
Shaking hands, can't do that right now
Feel like
in the
brothers
real
and
world.
right? Wait a minute. I do know this type of droid. Are you alright? Type 2 load lifters were a fraud. They were repurposed demolition droids prone to violence. Naturally. Well, good thing we put the restraining bolts on. Trace! The bolt!
Uh-oh. Those cats.
What the?
This is cool, actually, because we're actually walking around the lower levels of Coruscant, and now it looks truly more like an underworld to me. I mean, like a city. Whoa, whoa. Damn. 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 That thing is fast. She got it.
See? Nothing to
Now they better get to it. Come on now.
Oh no. It's a bad idea. Yeah, that happened.
Go ahead.
Cut it loose.
No, don't cut it loose.
We can't let it get away. Take the controls. Just hit the blue button.
She's gonna get hit before she gets to do that. I don't know why Ahsoka didn't do this.
Come on.
Because as soon as she hits it, the robot's gonna fall, isn't it? Uh-oh. Hit it. And now the robot's gonna fall, right?
Hey, kid.
Told you.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no.
We knew that was gonna happen. And now Ahsoka may have to use her force abilities. Nope. We can't. Uh-oh. Now she may have to use her force abilities. Come on, babe.
Come on, you
There
got
you
it.
go. All good.
Uh-oh. Yeah, she's trying not to use her force abilities, but she's gonna have to use it. There she goes.
Look out.
Huh. And someone saw her do it.
Why is this a discussion? We all know that you're new here.
Hmm.
Here's enough to buy new tools. That makes it worth it, right? I guess so. Stick with me, Trace.
Blood money.
We'll have enough credits. Pinto will be coming to us for work.
She don't like Ahsoka.
I better go finish my scooter. You're not sticking around? I think it's for the best.
That's probably going to be the end of the first arc here. So, very enjoyable episode. Really nice to see Ahsoka again. So, in this particular adventure, we get to see Ahsoka just as she has left the Jedi Order. She has obtained a speeder bike that is not quite up to par. It gives her some trouble as she is descending down into the lower levels of Coruscant. As the bike starts to give out or starts to mess up, she is going around, bumping off of ships, walking on walls. She finally crash lands on this platform, and this is where we meet Trace, who is working on a cruiser or a freighter ship that she's converting over and trying to prep for flight. So she can make her living amongst the stars, which is her dream. So she meets Ahsoka. The two kind of hit it off a little bit, but then have a little bit of a rough patch. Kind of come together and bond a little bit. We then get into this loan shark character, and I forget the character's name, guys. It escapes me at the loan shark character who is coming in looking for money that the sister Rafa owes to this particular character. So he's coming in. He wants to rough up Trace a little bit. Trace pleads with Ahsoka not to interfere. Ahsoka actually abides by that and does not interfere until Trace eventually does ask for her help. Once Ahsoka steps in, it's all shut down. Ahsoka goes immediately into action and whoops on these two guys and delivers a shot in the jewels, if you will, to one of the characters, and the character walks off kind of in a position where he's holding his family jewels. So I thought that was really, really cool and very funny and a very cool fight and very nice to see young Ahsoka engaging in battle once again. So very nice stuff there. We then get introduced to Rafa, who is Trace's sister. She has a shop that seemingly looks like a laundromat to me. But it looks like it also is a storage facility where people can keep their personal belongings, and it looks like she's going through these storages and stealing people's stuff. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it was, but it looks like she was stealing stuff that didn't belong to her. And then we also find out that this shop doubles as a droid factory in the back, which obviously must be illegal because she's using the laundromat as a front for this droid factory. She gets a deal for these droids then and needs to get these droids ready for this deal. So we then join Ahsoka and Trace, who are working on these particular droids. Ahsoka notices something familiar about the droids, and when she is told what the droids are, which are some kind of loader droid of some sort, and I forget exactly what the name is for these droids, but Ahsoka recalls that these droids were known for their violence. So Trace has forgotten to put the restraining bolt on one of these uh, binary load lifters who are repurposed demolition droids and are prone to violence. So this one particular droid gets loose and starts wreaking havoc on the lower levels, destroying ships that are flying through, which is really cool and also funny at the same time. But this guy is going through wreaking havoc. Ahsoka and Trace chase after this particular runaway droid, and after their small little adventure, they're able to capture the droid. However, the droid who Trace was able to shut down was now falling over the edge and possibly going to fall deeper into the lower levels of Coruscant, but was only held by the forklift vehicle as Ahsoka was able to put the secure the vehicle so it would not fall. Ahsoka tried to put the pulley, the wrench, to help the vehicle pull itself up, but it started to give out. And it was very obvious that Ahsoka was trying to avoid using her Force powers as not to reveal herself as a Force user or a Jedi. But as this forklift is falling over the side, Ahsoka is forced to use her Jedi powers to pull the vehicle up so Trace would be safe and prevent it from falling over the side. There is a small Twi'lek child who notices that Ahsoka has used her power to lift that, to help the forklift pull the droid and Trace up to safety. So nothing actually came about that child. The child didn't reveal what he had saw or what she had saw. I'm not sure the gender of that particular child, but it looked like the child was the only one who noticed that Ahsoka was using Force powers to pull the vehicle and everyone up to safety. So we'll see if that is something that is introduced or revealed in the next episode. And maybe Ahsoka is outed as a Jedi or at the very least a Force user. And this may create even a greater rift, not only between Trace and Rafa, but perhaps Ahsoka may find herself as a true outsider in the underworld of Coruscant if it's revealed that she is in fact a Jedi. So once it is revealed that these droids are somewhat dangerous, Ahsoka is very opposed to these droids even being sold to anyone because of their nature for violence. So it kind of creates a rift between Ahsoka and Rafa. Rafa doesn't seem to really care for Ahsoka because she's a newcomer, and she feels as though that Ahsoka doesn't understand that in the lower levels you have to do whatever it takes to survive, and that's basically what Rafa is all about. And of course, her sister is a little more, even though she understands that aspect of the lower levels as well, she's a little more lenient than her sister is. Her older sister, by the way. Rafa is her older sister. And then, of course, Ahsoka, always wanting to do the right thing and make sure that people are protected, again, is very opposed to the sale of these particular droids. So because of this particular rift, Ahsoka feels as though that staying at their place is not going to be a good idea. So we end this particular episode with Ahsoka and Trace walking off, going back to the shop to repair Ahsoka's damaged speeder bike. And that's where we end the first arc of this particular walkabout arc for Ahsoka. So again, a very enjoyable episode. Not really or pushes the overall narrative of the Clone Wars itself, but it is good to see what Ahsoka has been up to since we last saw her leaving the Jedi Order. So I really thoroughly enjoyed this episode simply because Ahsoka is one of my favorite characters in all of Star Wars. And again, it was really cool to see what she had been up to since she had left the Jedi Order. We also learned that there is a bias at least as Trace and Rafa are concerned, against the Jedi. It seems that there may be some thought amongst the residents of the lower level that the Jedi are responsible for the war, which I think may be the consensus overall amongst the galaxy, that the Jedi are the ones who are responsible for the war. So for that, there is some animosity between maybe not only the citizens of the lower levels of Coruscant, but maybe Coruscant as a whole, and maybe throughout the galaxy as well. So that was also a very cool aspect of this particular episode as well. I thought this was a very good introduction to this particular Ahsoka-centric arc. So I'm going to go ahead and score this particular episode, guys, and I'm going to score this episode a 8.0 out of 10. I thought this was a very enjoyable episode. Not a lot of action. It didn't push the overall narrative of the story any further, but it did give us a look into what Ahsoka has been doing since she's left the Jedi Order. She's befriended these two particular characters, and now she may find herself in a bit of a pickle if it is revealed that she is in fact a Jedi, or at the very least a Force user. So it's going to be really interesting to see what this reveal, if it does come to light that she is a Jedi, with the not only with Trace and Rafa, but maybe among some of the citizens of the underworld. It'll be interesting to see what effect this has on Ahsoka, and where she may need to turn or run if in fact she is outed as a Jedi or a Force user. So again, guys, I thoroughly enjoyed this episode. It was a little bit slower episode, but still a very cool and enjoyable episode. Again, anything with Ahsoka involved with it, I'm definitely all in with it. So guys, let me know what your thoughts are. Did you enjoy this episode as much as I did? Was it a little bit slow for you as well? Might have been a little short as well. This might have been about 17 minutes as opposed to the 22 to 25 minutes that I believe the majority of these episodes may have timed out at. But this was a really good, enjoyable episode, guys. But let me know what your thoughts are. Did you enjoy seeing Ahsoka once again? Young Ahsoka. It's been quite a while since we had an opportunity to go on an adventure with young Ahsoka here, and this particular episode was most definitely very, very fun and very enjoyable, and I look forward to the next episode of this particular arc with Ahsoka. I'm sure she's going to get into some deep stuff, as we saw in the trailer. Spoiler, if you did not see the trailer, guys, I'm going to give you a chance to silence this part or skip to the end, or simply stop the video if you want to do that. But we do know from the trailer, for those of us who saw the trailer, spoiler in 1, 2, 3, yes, we do know that the Pikes will be involved more than likely in the next arc, guys. So it's going to be really interesting to see what comes of that. And then again, we also have this underlying story with Ahsoka possibly being outed as a Jedi. So guys, again, let me know what your thoughts are. Put those comments down below. And if you are new to the channel and you enjoy the Clone Wars, and if you enjoyed this particular reaction, I do reactions to not only the Clone Wars, but I also do reactions to the Mandalorian. So if you want to see my reactions to Mandalorian Season 1, you want to check out my Mandalorian playlist. So you can check that out on my playlist there. And then of course, I've also have reactions to the first 4 episodes, the Bad Batch episode. So if you guys want to check those out, you can do so as well. That should be on my Clone Wars playlist as well, guys. So again, guys, I want to thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. And of course, guys, from the Father to the Son to the Obi-Wan Force Ghost, may the Force be with you always.